Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this very, not special. I guess special is a strong word to use in a case like this, but welcome to this podcast, this simulcast, if you will, across both the Jeff Beecham Network video outlets and NoDQ.com for the very first time on their YouTube. Aaron allowed me to give this a try, so I'm giving it a try. Before I go anywhere, I want to throw up, I appreciate this right away, Wayne with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Wayne. You could have said something. I wouldn't have minded if you'd thrown up the reason why you threw a $5 super chat at me, but I do appreciate it very much. So there is that. Let's see who's here. Christian Ramirez is here. Hello, chat room. JJ left me a wonderful comment with Test's intro, which I thought was hysterical. Adrian's here, and everybody's here. Everybody's coming in. I love this. I appreciate you guys being here on a Sunday. I know it's early afternoon for some of you. I know it's mid-afternoon for some of you. I know it's early evening for some of you. So I appreciate everybody who's here. Basically, this was what we decided to do is give this a test run to see if I could pull off this on more than one channel. That way I could do this. We can do this going forward, because Aaron and I have been talking a long time about having simulcasts be done. And the problem with simulcasting on the way we have it set up is it's a bitch to pull off when you have more than one video streaming thing. What I mean is I primarily use StreamYard. As you can see, I've got the things on here. I got the whole thing going. So, and Aaron uses Skype to do the panels and the predictions and everything like that. So what I asked him to do is to use my information to log into StreamYard and attach the NoDQ account. So he did, and I did. And here we are. So I'm hoping we can do this Tuesday when we do the SummerSlam predictions, which I'm going to grossly plug right now, by the way. I'm going to throw it up there right now for everybody to realize is happening, because NoDQ.com is going to have full coverage all week of SummerSlam coming up this week. We have a live prediction show Tuesday at 7 Eastern over on the NoDQ channel, which you're watching, of course. I realize that. I'm trying to get used to this. I'm sorry. And then usually, I don't know if it's going to be the case this month, but usually Greg will have the quote-unquote pre-show, if you will, at 3 Eastern. And then, of course, WWE starts their coverage, and then right after the show, Aaron does his full recap. So that's going to be the week here on NoDQ.com as far as SummerSlam. Of course, over if you're watching the Jeff Beecham Network, again, I greatly appreciate the hell out of you for doing that. You can catch Wrestling Rewind this Wednesday, which will be Greg and I, if we get it recorded. Hopefully, I pray to God. Reviewing SummerSlam 1995, which again, you guys picked it. You're bad. But Greg was at that show. It was a fun show. It is a one-match show. If you don't like the ladder match from 1995 SummerSlam, you're kind of not going to enjoy Rewind. I'll be honest with you on Wednesday, but there you go. Friday, over on Greg's channel, on the Greg Cherry brand, we will have yet another episode of the Wrestling Trivia Challenge, the NoDQ.com Wrestling Trivia Challenge. That'll be Friday afternoon, evening, 6 Eastern, I want to say. And then immediately after that, you can come to the Jeff Beecham Network and check out the post-game show. Saturday, I will have a live watch-along myself of the TakeOver 30, which will be on the WWE Network, of course. But you can catch my watch-along right on the Jeff Beecham Network beginning at 5:30 Eastern. And the next day, same thing, SummerSlam, full coverage there on the Jeff Beecham Network. And Aaron will be live after both of those shows, I believe. Aaron, you're in the chat room, so you can confirm this for me. With coverage of those. So that's what's coming up. I just wanted to appreciate, take the time to really throw it out there that I was able to get this done. I'm very happy that we're able to simulcast on both channels, because it's never forgotten on my part that without NoDQ.com, there is no Jeff Beecham Network. There is none. It was Aaron and his website giving me the opportunity almost 18 years ago that I sit where I sit. So there you go. Let's see. Yes, Aaron pointed out the music you heard is from audionautics.com. I went to Audionautics and I can't find it, so I had to go on YouTube to find the. But that used to be the song for Talk Wrestling when it first came back to No DQ 6 years ago. Long Live Death is the name of the song. If you want to look it up and listen to the whole song, that's cool by me. I enjoy the song. It's a cool little bit. I use it just kind of whenever I just want to throw something together, not have just have a cold like, hi, here I am. Want to do a little intro, but again, I appreciate the cover. I got 39 people watching me. I love it. That's awesome. I greatly appreciate everybody being here and watching this and commenting and being right along here. Yes, even you, Adrian. I appreciate even you being here. I really do. Stephen Osborne's here and Jake's here and Cody Joe Perry's here. Everybody, I love it. I appreciate it. Tomorrow will be Talk Wrestling. We'll do kind of more of the same here, at least on the Jeff Meacham Network side of things. Ask me anything you want. You guys ask me anything you want right now, for the record. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. That's a good question for Aaron. I'll go ahead and throw it out there to Aaron. Relic 2117 asks, is there going to be a takeover prediction show? I believe we have an NXT show in place, but I don't know that. Aaron will have to confirm that for me. Ken, I'm not going to review SummerSlam necessarily. I probably will end up talking about it on Talk Wrestling next Monday, but not really looking to do a full deep dive recap. Maybe on the lecture show. I'm trying to get together for the audio network. Good grief. I'm trying so hard to make that happen. Aaron says the prediction show for NXT will be Thursday night. So there you go. So Aaron, full SummerSlam coverage, SummerSlam weekend coverage all week long on NoDQ.com. So stay tuned for that. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says Jeff Meacham is cooler than Mongo and Buff Bagwell. I will agree with being cooler than Mongo. I like Mark Bagwell. He's a friend of the show. He's a friend of the family. So I try not to crap. I know people love to crap on Mark. I'm not one of those people. So there is that. Ken Trina by Google says Long Live Death reminds me so much of I'm Broken by Pantera. It does. I wholeheartedly agree. The reason we're not doing, Aaron says, the reason we're not doing the prediction show till Thursday is because we want to see who's in the ladder match. Of course, that's the big draw, if you will, for NXT TakeOver 30 is the ladder match for the North American title. So that's why we want to see. Adrian, I love the comment. I agree. Remember watching No DQ video with Jeff over 10 years ago, and then Aaron took over the videos longer than some marriages. True enough. In both our camps. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Jeff Meacham, can some of you guys get together and do a live draft of all-time wrestling and let the fans vote on the winner? Elaborate a little bit for me on that. I'm always down to get, the people in here and talk about the business. So there you go. Whatever you like to do. I've reviewed a lot of shows over the years, Ken. I have reviewed pretty much every pay-per-view in one way or the other since I started doing this crazy shit with Aaron 18 years ago. So the deep dive reviews happen when they're able to happen. The thing is, with me doing deep dives on the reviews, it's late on a Sunday, and more often than not, it's during the course of a school year, and my son's in school, so it's hard to be up late on a Sunday getting deep into the weeds on something when he's trying to go to sleep down the hall. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So I get it. I get you guys want coverage. That's why Aaron is more than happy to do his reviews, because for the moment, he's not having to worry about somebody getting up the next day and doing school. Yes, he has has a job, but they're understanding, and I'm not fully accessible to that luxury as of yet, but I'm working on it. We're working on getting fans. Getting fans. I saw a question about fans. I'm working on getting access to that, so stand by on that. Psycho Jet Black says, thoughts on virtual fans from NBA and WWE using it. I'm kind of whatever about the whole virtual fans thing. I kind of gave up on the fact a long time ago of the fact that there would be a live fan thing for at least the immediate future. We live in a society where we can't be around each other all the time, so it's kind of a we just have to learn to accept it and understand that we can't always be we can't always get what we want in this world. It is a fact of life. So there you go. Ken says Mark Bagwell is really cool, even though he buried JR. Other than Gordon Soley, JR is the best announcer. Yes, absolutely, wholeheartedly. JR is the best announcer that ever lived. Brendan Crabtree says, "Are you going to watch any of the indie content on the WWE Network?" Yes, I am. And it's just a matter of doing the thing and getting the time together. I'm on a major binge right now. I'm actually listening to Leah and Matt Bear With Us podcast, Carmella and Corey Graves. I've been listening to that all day. I stopped that to do this, so I'm going to get back to that later. I'm also doing my Stanley Cup binge because Stanley Cup hockey is a real thing, and I love it. So I'm enjoying the hockey's back, and I actually am going to watch the rest of D2 and D3 tonight because I just love hockey and I love the Ducks movies. So there you go. Let's see here. Brendan Crabtree asked me, "Are you going to? I hear you asked me that. I saw that. Just kidding." Stefan says, "What are your expectations for changes in the shows now they'll be in the arena?" I don't have any expectations, Stefan. I'm kind of waiting and seeing like the rest of us. I don't expect things to drastically change. I liked the idea that Aaron put out on social media a couple days ago that was submitted to him by somebody else, that they should do the shows, at least the pay-per-views, at one of the hotels down there by the Amway Arena and have like the hotel balconies as the crowd. I think that was a brilliant suggestion. So just my thing. The Cool Brothers radio podcast, draft wrestlers and make matches with your picks. You can't pick the same wrestlers, and when it's over, we vote on it. You can pick any wrestlers from any promotion in the WrestleMania era. Oh, I like that. Aaron, look into that. That'd be cool. I dig it. So Bailey's here, my best friend in this world. I actually washed my Bailey shirt, my Henderson Hottie shirt, which you can get at Greg Cherry brand, by the way. Let me throw that plug up there real quick while I'm thinking about it, because I will forget, because I do forget things. The Greg Cherry brand, of course. Boom, there you go. There it is. Greg Cherry brand. You also find my stuff at Teespring, and Aaron has a Teespring over at nodq.com/merch. That's in the description below here on me, so keep that in mind. Let's see. All right, there we go. Do you think a gimmick where a wrestler refuses to do a I'm so confused. Let's see. Okay, well, yeah, see, you got a good idea, Stefan. I wholeheartedly agree with that suggestion about doing the pull thing. All right, so I'm being in the ear that if you guys want to comment, you want a question on the Aaron Riff side of things, you have to do a super chat, because that's what he does, and I should be doing that, right? Because I've only got $5 so far. Let's see. Everybody's here. Let's see. I think that's, yeah. I wonder why they would leave the PC and pay nothing to use it, and go to an arena have to pay to use it, just to stop being stir crazy. Just to get out of the building. I mean, they got to be going crazy too. We're all sitting here going completely insane here at home, or wherever we are, just sitting here watching these shows. They got to be going nuts being cooped up. And I get that you should be cooped up. I get that we should be staying home and doing their thing, and staying COVID safe and staying compliant. But if they had the opportunity to get into an arena, even if it is empty and they have the arena environment, I would totally jump on that if I was them. I really would. Okay. I don't think there would ever be a reason why somebody would not want to be a double champion. I mean, I guess it's double the workload, which, most people seem to enjoy the fact that they get that kind of exposure. So I don't see why that would be a thing. I know that it used to be, the rules used to state that you can't be double champion. The Jack Tunney rules, you can't be Intercontinental and World Champion at the same time. You can't be US and World Champion at the same time. They let Seth Rollins do that. So, it's, the rules change when it's convenient for WWE to use them. Like they, the whole 30-day thing that was around a long time ago, where you had to defend the trial in 30 days, or you were stripped. That was more of a that was more of a thing instituted by the old guard to drive story and to have champions defend the title when it was necessary, and kind of move things along if a champion wouldn't do right by business. The Cleaver with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Colin. Thoughts on Seth versus Dominic being a street fight, and who will help aid the kid? That's a good question. I gotta believe Rey Mysterio is going to be involved in this, regardless of his contract status. He's got to help his kid, right? He's got to be there to help his son. And what a lot of people in the No DQ chat, at least the other day, seem to think that Dominic is going to end up turning on Rey and joining the greater good and being part of Seth Rollins' overall cause to make Raw a better place for himself anyway. I am intrigued by that suggestion. I kind of like that. So as far as aiding him, I think Rey will aid Dominic. And then if we do see a turn by Dominic, kind of a cool deal. People have loved Rey Mysterio for so many years. And despite my my attempts to make people see that he didn't really deserve what do you call it? What do you call it? I can't even think. My brain's farting. I don't feel that Aaron. Jeez, I'm so tired. That Rey should have been pushed the way he was pushed following the death of Eddie Guerrero, but he was, and that was WWE's decision, and it was what it was. So I kind of just had to learn to get over it and, get over myself, basically. So other than Rey, I can't really see anybody aiding Dominic. Joe. Joe's an easy answer because Joe's been kind of itching to get out of the chair and help Dominic anyway, and he almost did, and he was told by management not to. And I checked my text. Check your messenger, or however you're accessing your computer at the moment. So there you go. Yeah, I think Brendan has a good suggestion that maybe that Dominic will lose. Rey will mess up helping Dominic, and then we will get Dominic to turn because of that. So that's, again, a very intriguing possibility. Would not surprise me in the slightest. But you never know. We'll see. Yeah, let's see what the boss thinks.
Hey, how's it going? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, somebody, Colin sent in a $5 super chat, which we, again, thank you for that, Colin. Asking, what do we think of Seth versus Dominic being a street fight, and who will help Dominic, who will aid the kid in the battle? And I threw out the thing we were talking about on, I think it was Wednesday's chat. I don't remember what show it was we were talking about. I was in the chat room. You were live, and they were saying that Dominic might turn. So I was saying, somebody in the chat room suggested that maybe Rey tries to help Dominic, botches the help, and then Dom snaps and turns on Rey.
I don't think that's going to happen yet. I feel like we're going to see Rey help out his son, and it's going to be pretty straightforward. I think we're going to get one more Rollins versus Rey Mysterio match, maybe Hell in a Cell, something like that. But we'll talk about predictions on Tuesday.
Right. I was talking about before you came in. I know you were busy doing your workout and trying to eat dinner because, God bless you, you guys eat on time over there, and I appreciate that very much.
So here's the thing, to use your line. We're eating dinner, and I had your window open for the stream, and it said waiting, whatever message is up there. And we're finishing up, and then all of a sudden that Pantera knockoff music starts blasting, and I'm like, oh shit, Jeff must be going live finally.
Yeah, I originally went. I had it queued up for earlier in the afternoon, and then Dylan was home later than I thought he was going to be. So I was like, okay, I'll just set it for 2:30. I was trying to give the hockey game a chance to end, and by the grace of God, the overtime ended right as I went. I'm like, all right, cool, here we go. So it was time. So it was cool.
Right.
Ken Terminated by DQ says, what about Aleister Black helping Dominic? I forgot about Aleister Black being a part of this.
Well, I'd like to see Aleister Black go heel. Something to change up his character. He needs an overhaul, in my opinion. Maybe he'll turn heel. And you don't need to break up Rey Mysterio and Dominic, although that would be an interesting storyline that could be explored down the line. But I think if there's going to be any kind of turn or somebody joining Rollins, I think it's going to be Black.
I think like I said, I completely, it's so bad. They have kind of pushed Alistair so far out of sight, out of mind, that I completely forgot he was part of this until I just saw his name. So it's a very intriguing idea that he would be the one to do the turn, or be the one to cause the loss or whatever. And then maybe we get Alistair and Ray involved, or maybe we get Alistair make a cameo. Go ahead.
No, she said no.
Ah, boo. All right. Anyway, ZOMG, oh my God, ruler with a $2 super chat says, I noticed the Retribution had a member do a spear. Oh, it must be Edge. It's confirmed.
Or it could be the big dog, Roman Reigns.
Oh my. Okay. I read your post that went up on ODQ, the one under the Sonya Deville post that Meltzer posted about the guys going to AEW, and so it's definitely not Roman Reigns. It's like, no kidding, Dave, really? like, oh, I'm so surprised it's not Roman Reigns. And he also said something about the plan for the SummerSlam leading to Payback. It's like, okay, so you think, and it's definitely one of the big matches. Like, really? So one of the big matches is going to lead to another match at pay-per-view? I can't imagine that happening, Dave. The people that read and subscribe to him and buy into his Kool-Aid is so ridiculous. It's so funny. Anyway, Adrian says, how long will this video run for? My wife wants me to take a shower. Go ahead and go, brother. We'll see you on Monday night. After
looks like there was another super
chat.
Did
I miss it?
in there.
I did. I missed it. There you go. Is Randy Orton a top 5 heel of all time or top 10? I actually did click it. I just forgot I clicked it. He's definitely a top 10 heel, I think, of all time, as far as in our lifetime of watching.
Top 5 heels. Okay, let's think off the top of our heads the top 5 wrestling heels. I got to have Roddy Piper up there towards the top. He's like the first guy I think of. When people want to stab you, that's when you know you're a good heel.
Right, and when you say that story, I think of Rick. I mean, people think of Ric Flair as a babyface now because he's been so beloved for so many years, but he was a nasty, dirty mother effer for a long time. So I think Flair's in the top 5 of all time. In our lifetime, I think Hogan. I know people go, "Oh, you're a Hogan maniac." Hollywood Hogan was despised. Like, people hated. Like, okay, they were okay with Scott and Kevin because they were cool. They hated Hogan. Like, legitimately hated him.
Shawn.
Yeah, I think pre Boyhood Dream Shawn Michaels was a cocky little shit. Absolutely. So there's 4 right there. So Randy top 5, maybe not top 5, but definitely top 10.
Now we got one from Mike B.
Oh, we do have one from Mike B. Okay, let's see here. Hope everyone on Team No DQ is doing great. We're having a good day. It's Sunday and Aaron's well fed, and I actually just had lunch, so it's all good. So
there you go.
But top 5 is a stretch.
Vince.
Vince.
Somebody just mentioned Vince McMahon in the chat room. Like, duh, Austin versus McMahon.
Yeah, I mean, Vince. I would say Vince rounds out my top 5.
Yeah, I mean,
Randy
Bischoff, maybe top 10 though.
Yeah, I mean, Randy. I mean, because you've got Bischoff, you've got the evil Undertaker from the Ministry. I mean, people petered on that storyline because it didn't work because they put the corporation in. It kind of faded out. And even he says he hated it. So, there's been so many quality bad guys. At least when you and I have been watching the last almost 38 years. Dwayne Atkinson says, Roddy Piper was my favorite heel of all time. It's hard to argue with Roddy being the best heel. Roddy, everywhere he went, managed to get be a bad guy. Even in the late WCW years when he was crusading against NWO, he ended up turning heel again anyway. It was a stupid storyline, but he still ended up being a bad guy because, Roddy can't help being a heel. He can never help being bad. And I think that's what made Roddy appeal to so many of us because, Roddy was bad, but he was cool about it. Like he just, Roddy Piper was the original no F's given person in wrestling. He didn't give a crap if you liked him or not, as long as you respected him.
Right.
So, which Big Show heel turn is? Okay, Big Show heel. when he first came in, yeah, it was hokey because he was Andre's son, but it was still the one time it was like, oh wow.
That wasn't really a turn because he started as a heel. I would say when he first joined the NWO, the first time, 96.
Right, because and I think that moment was made because Bischoff's announcing. Like Bischoff was like, whoa, 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 whoa. He was
The
like,
Giant.
No, the Giant. No, it was so. People underscore Eric's announcing. I thought he did good there personally, but that was
for sure.
It was a rare moment, I guess, for Bischoff to be good at what he was doing. So you must be young because okay, I'm trying to read through the chats on the no DQ side so I can catch up with the super chats, but I keep forgetting to get fed into here too. On the still learning, it says like, this is all a work in progress. We're just throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. But
and also, if we're talking about heels, sorry to interrupt you, but I was thinking like managers too. Bobby Heenan, Jimmy Hart, God, they were all great heels.
Yeah, it was weird in '93 cheering for Jimmy Hart. Like that blew my mind. Like I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that he was wearing the red and yellow and being Hulkamaniac. Ole Anderson's a good one, Curtis. Ole Anderson, I don't think anybody likes Ole Anderson to this day. Like nobody likes Ole. So there you go.
Rick Rude was another great one.
What's that?
Rick Rude was another great one.
Rick Rude, I feel people forget about because he wasn't in the Attitude Era as a wrestler, so they kind of look past him, which sucks. Because if you watched the Dangerous Alliance, Rick Rude, oh my God, like amazing. And then when he feuded with Flair for the world title, amazing stuff.
Yeah, and I'm thinking in more recent years, Ciampa has been a great heel.
Yeah, it's funny, Ciampa is one of those indie guys that you hesitate to hate, but I found myself like, oh God, Johnny, please kill him. And the whole thing with this Randy Orton, I mentioned on Monday after Raw, I wanted Drew McIntyre to kick Randy Orton's ass. Randy Orton drew that evil side out of me where I wanted Randy Orton to get hurt. Like I wanted Randy Orton to be physically harmed after what he did to Ric Flair. And the whole week was kind of like that. We had a very 1998 kind of week, and that was kind of cool to see. I enjoyed it.
I want to look up the year-end awards for the heel of the year and just see what people voted over the years.
Oh, for no DQ, yeah, okay, that's
yeah.
fine.
So
you can do that.
Go ahead.
Bring it up there. Let's see. Hey, Jeff and Aaron, the past two WrestleManias, we've had a first-time WWE champion. Do you think the streak continuing next year? Dude, 2021 is such a we don't know what's going to happen next that it's hard to say. I mean, we're still in August of 2020. WrestleMania 2021 seems so far away right now.
I know, really. And at first I was thinking like, well, maybe Brock will win back the title and they'll do the cycle again where somebody else challenges Brock at WrestleMania. But who even knows at this point? Brock's not at SummerSlam. This is his first time missing SummerSlam since he came back. That's right. Crazy to me. Who knows if he'll even be at WrestleMania? Who knows if WrestleMania will be in LA? There's a lot of question marks right now. It's really hard to say.
It is. So you've got over the years, Jericho's won it quite a bit. And Jericho, on both sides of the coin is an amazing performer. But I still feel he's a much better bad guy than a good guy by and large. Ciampa, Miz, see, for everybody, it's different. I've always liked Miz. Like even when he was the worst of the worst, I've always liked Miz because I knew Mike Mizanin back in the old UPW days. So I like, oh, my buddy. So that's different for me. I don't know if that's different for anybody else that knows somebody. It's just kind of hard. Rollins, again, we didn't say Rollins, but Rollins, was a heel, with the authority. And, people, it's so funny. When you get into a moment of, we hate this guy right now, we forget, oh, wait, he was bad before. But and Seth Rollins was a sneaky, cocky shit before.
And he had a great heel turn. One of the best, if we're talking about just heel turns, when he turned against the Shield and that one fan yelling out, no, as he's swinging the chair. That was an all-time classic.
The fan yelling no and Moxley's face just was everything. It was like, John Moxley, Dean Ambrose, sold that so well. And, it was almost like it was way better that he hit Roman with the chair first. That way Dean could do the sell because that was one of the better heel turns in recent WWE memory. It was pulled off so well. Much like when they kind of turned Rollins quasi babyface by default because Triple H turned on him. The thing with him pedigreeing Rollins and helping Kevin was like, what? That was a good one too. DeBoy Fernando with a $3 super chat says, "What's your favorite dream match that never happened?" I think we talked about this on a recent, either No DQ review or one of my shows. But
I'll tell you right now, mine would be Steve Austin and Goldberg.
Austin Goldberg's definitely on my list. We all know very well how much I don't like Billy Boy, but it is a dream match. It is.
That's like the biggest money match that they could have done.
It is. The match that a lot of people talk about and I co-sign with is Austin and Hogan. I think if the money was with Hogan and Austin 2002, not The Rock. Yes, The Rock and Hogan had an amazing moment, but I feel that if they would have just shifted a little bit and had Hogan face Austin, maybe the babyface turn would have still happened for Hulk, but I think a heel Hogan against the babyface Austin wouldn't have turned the people so quickly.
Now, that would have been a hot match, though. Adrian just sent in a super chat.
Here we go. Adrian with a $5 euro. There you go. $5 euro super chat says Batista heel work spotlight gimmick versus Y2J heel heat 2008. Who had a better run? Oh, Jericho. I mean, Batista, when he was doing that spotlight thing before he quit the first time, was great. And again, I'm not a big fan of Dave's in-ring stuff. I've said that, but I thought that was very good. But Jericho anything, I think it's just better than Batista everything. So
I loved the spotlight promos. Give me my spotlight. That was fantastic. And he should have stuck around longer. The thing is, he left as it was really starting to pick up some steam. And I loved his turn when he attacked Rey Mysterio. You're supposed to be my friend. That was awesome.
It was one of those things where, are we supposed to boo him for this? Because he's right. He's 100%
but
right.
He's like a bully.
Yeah,
he's a bully. To raise this little guy. He's being the shit out of him.
Everything I talk about this all the time on my shows. I think I've done it with your shows too. Mick Foley put it in one of his books. Michael Hayes always said a heel has to feel he's right, no matter how wrong he's doing. Dave felt he was 100% right, that Ray had stolen his opportunity at the title, so he felt justified in doing what he did. Much like Chris Jericho. Jericho originally turned heel in 2008 because he felt that Michaels punked Batista out over the Flair thing. So Jericho felt 100% justified in doing what he did. So, Chris Jericho, I think finally is people. I mean, he's been using the greatest of all time gimmick thing, and now this demo god thing for a number of weeks. People are starting to see that Chris Jericho has always been great, and I think that's good because he was underscored for a number of years, even when he came to Vince. Like Vince didn't put the machine behind him until way, way later. I think that was a mistake.
Right. Yeah, I agree on that. And shout out to Noah Foster. He's in the chat room. Now, I'm not sure if you talked about this when I was in the process of trying to get on here, but did you say anything about the Sonya Deville story?
I did not. Somebody mentioned it. I was trying to see if I would you would come on that we could talk about it together because it's scary. Like
that was pretty scary.
I read the full story on NoDQ.com, which let me just be that guy and be a shill for a moment here, if I may. There it is. NoDQ.com. There you go. There it is. Everything there. Apparently the Twitter feed that was found is the guy because they showed the guy in handcuffs. It looks like the same guy. Yeah, that's legitimately frightening. Like I can't. It's like the police said, what would have happened if the alarm hadn't gotten off? Like holy shit.
Yeah. That is pretty scary, and unfortunately, I feel like there's quite a few people out there like that. There's stalkers that are just obsessed with people, and you never know what they might try to do. Unfortunately, and it sucks that people have to live in fear, like if they have a stalker that's always messaging them constantly 24/7. Holy cow.
Jesus Christ. Jeff got paid today. Very good. All right. Big Baller G with a $100 super chat. Here you go, boys. Split 50-50. Y'all are the best buds. Damn. Well, that's staying up there for a while.
Thank you, Big G.
Big G, I'll tell you what. I'm mad at Disney, and I'll tell you why. They added Mighty Ducks, but not D2 and D3. D2 and D3 are still on HBO Max. So Big G with the hookup. So thank you for Big G. And the Harry Potter movies. Can't forget that. It's funny that but not funny. I guess it's timing wise, it's ironic that the story came out because we had a guy that was originally kind of like harassing me on Twitter. And then I found out it was the same guy on Instagram who was harassing the bejeebus out of me about being on RVD's nuts and not coming through with and just completely riding my butt. And I mentioned this to you. I on Twitter gave him a big old like, okay, here's your answers that you've been looking for. And he apologized. I'm like, okay, good. He must be quelled. He must be satisfied. And he kept going. Then he started tweeting Bailey. It's like, okay, dude, you're done. So I called him out. I completely I had her block him. I blocked him on Twitter, on Instagram. He's creepy, and I'm not trying to say I can relate to what Sonya is going through because I mean that's beyond scary. If I knew that guy was in my house, I would probably crap my pants before I got the alarm and turn it off. That's how scared I was. But yeah, it's an unfortunate thing that people that are in the public eye have to deal with things like that. It's very unfortunate. You see it all the time with, people that are, in the public eye that have to deal with stalkers or, online predators or whatever. It's very, I mean, it's unfortunate. And what's really scary is, we're supposed to be staying inside and staying home. Why is this guy even like, he must have been completely far gone to think that he could be okay. Number one, to be a home invader. Number two, to be a home invader in the COVID era. Like that's just double duh. Yeah. So it's scary. It really is. So, yeah, my dream match that hasn't happened yet could be Batista versus Brock Lesnar. People don't talk about that, but yeah, that would be something that if it had happened, maybe when Dave came back this last time, actually in 2014 when he won the Rumble and people were crapping all over it, maybe Batista gets the run at Brock if he sticks around. He doesn't because of the Evolution Shield thing that fell flat on its face, but why not?
Yeah, I would be down for it. I think it's one of the few Brock Lesnar matches that could still be done that would be a huge box office attraction.
Yeah, I just let's see, that's the end of you. Heard of that language.
Now, Jeff, have you talked to Adrian at all? Are we going to get something going here with you guys in a debate?
I am totally down for a debate. I am 100% ready for a debate. If Adrian wants to come in now, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's do this. Let's just be that guy. You're going
to send him an invite? You're going to do it on the spot?
Well, no, I can't say because I think I blocked him on social media. So just hang on a second.
You got a dog named Spot.
Not a dog Spot, not a liver spot, my spot. Oh, God. Kevin will never live that down ever. That will always be one of his parts of his legacy. And it's such a shame because Kevin's so much better. Parody. I know, but just like everybody hates him for it. So, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Ah, crap.
Did you just send an invite to everybody?
No. I took.
How many people could be on this? We should get a bunch of people on.
10.
Why don't you invite like Stefan or...
Well, here what I'm trying to do is get this stupid. Okay, I want to do
Noah
this.
Foster's here. Why don't we bring in Noah or Stefan or
somebody in it? Come on in.
Send it to Team No DQ. Anybody that wants to jump on, we can have
here we go.
Roundtable discussion.
There's the link. There's the link.
Is that for everybody?
This for everybody. Everybody can see that right now. Everybody in the video can see that.
That's a good idea because
bring them on. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't want N bombs being dropped on my live stream.
I've got the band hammer right in front of me. I'm good. And plus, if they come in here, they have to go through a screening, so it's okay. I got it. Well, it's under control.
You better be careful because that is like opening Pandora's box as far as
Adrian says not tonight anyway, so that's okay. Okay, fine.
Oh, he chickened out. No, I'm kidding.
Pussy.
Ooh, snap.
I don't care anymore. Whatever. All right. All right. Well,
shit just got real.
All right. Right. Okay. Let me see if I can invite G because he's inviting. He's asking.
Big G. Let's get Big G in. He sent in the $100 super chat. I say Big G should be the first.
I know, right? No kidding.
Allowed in.
Let's see. There we go. Okay, Big G. If you're watching, I sent you the invite on my work messenger. So there you go.
Let's get the
funny.
simple man Noah Foster in here too. Noah, why don't you come in?
Noah, come on in. Let's see if I can invite Noah without causing a freaking hassle in my inbox here. This will be fun. Noah Foster. No, not that Noah. Noah Foster. Oh, jeez.
Oh, we got a new super chat from Adrian.
Working on it. I'm only
Jeff
one
has
man.
to multitask here.
Jeff, it won't be tonight, I'm afraid. We're going to do it on my terms on neutral ground. Greg's channel. Ooh.
Wow. So he's a little scared to do it on my channel, it seems. Like I'm not biased. I will be a fair and impartial moderator. But if Greg wants to do it, then more power to him. Maybe he just doesn't want more people watching because he's afraid he'll get embarrassed and he'd rather be embarrassed.
Are you trying to imply that Greg doesn't have a big audience? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
He's got a sizable audience, but
okay, all right.
No DQ is like SmackDown, and Greg is like NXT.
So that makes me Raw. I think you're Raw. I'm SmackDown. If anything.
Well, SmackDown has the highest viewership, so I'll take that.
Okay, well there you go. Okay, let me let's get rid of it. Where's the chat? Hang on. There's that, and then we'll do that. Big Baller G is here.
Big G in the house.
What's up?
Well,
Big G, make sure you write your camera so we get a landscape view.
Go.
Attaboy. There you go.
Attaboy.
Big G with the payout today, man. I appreciate that. You buy me dinner tonight.
Where are you gonna go, Jeff?
I have no idea. I can't go anywhere. Where am I gonna go?
If you're gonna get food, where are you gonna go?
I'll order some high-end catering for the family for $50. Why not?
Okay. Where?
I don't know.
Well, if you were hungry right now and you go outside, I know you're not hungry because you just ate. Where would you go?
Right.
If you were starving, where would you go?
If I could go somewhere right now, I would literally find a way to get you and Caitlin here and go back to Rattlers. That's what I would do.
Rattlers. Okay, there you go. Is Rattlers open during the pandemic?
I think they're open for takeout. I'm not sure.
Well, there you go. There's your dinner.
Hey, you could always do DoorDash or Grubhub and they can deliver to you.
I think Rattlers has one of those services. I don't know, but Mike B with a $5 super chat says, question for the both of you, and now for Big G since he's here. Do you think WWE 14 is back for good or only temporary? I'll throw that to Big G first.
You know what's funny? I didn't even realize it said TV 14 until somebody had posted it on Twitter, I think, after SmackDown.
Right.
If it is TV 14, I guess that's good. I mean, maybe they'll do some edgier stuff or whatnot, but I mean, if it's temporary, it's temporary. But I'm fine with it.
There you go, Aaron. What do you think?
I think it's probably going to be a regular thing now. It looks like WWE's trying to push an edgier product, and it's been moving in that direction for a while now. I mean, you have a pay-per-view where somebody's eye is getting gouged out. That's not TV PG. So maybe WWE is moving in a different direction now, and they're really trying to get the viewers up. We got another super chat, by the way.
We do all get there, and and the show before that, we had somebody push off the roof. 2 people pushed off the roof. Granted, they fell near the roof, but they've been slowly edging toward that 14 barrier, and all of a sudden there it is on Fox Friday night. So hopefully it sticks around, like you said, guys. Cleaver calling Andrew with a $5 super chat says favorite match of 2020 so far.
Oh my God!
I'll go first on this one.
Yeah, please do.
I have to go with a match that had a crowd because I think those matches are always going to have a little bit more excitement to them. I'm going with AEW. I'm going with the tag team match between the Bucks and Kenny Omega and Adam Page. That was one of the best tag matches I've ever seen. Period. From any year, any promotion, and I think that one's going to be difficult to top. But if I had to go with a pandemic match. Either the Boneyard or AEW's Stadium Stampede.
Well, let me ask panelist number 4 before I get to Big G and to myself. Noah Foster, what's your favorite?
Noah! What's up, everybody? How are you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay.
I love that this is going across my entire network and no DQ. This is just making my day. Anyway, go ahead.
So, what was the question about, best cinematic match so far during the COVID era?
The best match. No, what's been your favorite match period of 2020 as of Sunday, August 16th?
Jeez. Oofa. I got to say right now, looking at everything, WWE, NJPW, AEW, still my favorite match, looking at this year alone. I can't get over the incredible story in action I saw in the tag team bout at AEW Revolution between the Young Bucks and Heyman Adam Page and Kenny Omega.
That's what Aaron said too. Right on. I love it.
Did
my
you hear
God.
me say that, Noah, or you just thought of that?
I literally just thought about it because, again, I watch a lot of wrestling, so I really had to think about this.
Okay, so there you go. You and I agree on the same match. That's crazy.
You remember, Noah watches New Japan and all that other stuff too. So for him to say the AEW match that you said, Aaron, when you watch far less than he does, that tells you how good that match was. That's definitely in my top matches. My favorite match, though, this entire year so far, and people are going to crap on me for being wishy-washy. I really don't care. It's a
Greatest
dead
match of all time.
tie. No. Favorite of this year. Sorry. Favorite match of this year is a tie between Firefly Funhouse and Boneyard. No. Firefly Funhouse and Boneyard. They were both so great in their own way. I found them both amazingly entertaining. So
You know what? I'm going to at Charlotte and tell her you did not pick one of her matches.
Oh!
Did you guys not watch my show last week where I actually my post that I said that Sasha's my favorite now? Did someone miss that memo?
Yeah, my friend Indigo might challenge you on that. He is a huge Sasha Banks fan.
Hey, honestly, I am a huge Charlotte fan, but Sasha has been the most consistent performer this year, in my opinion. So,
I agree.
All right,
I will not.
What about
argue
you,
that.
Big G?
I don't know.
What's your favorite match this year?
Man, I'd really have to think about it. I really don't know.
Okay, if you were going to pop in a match from this year right now, what would you go to? What gravitates towards you?
Pick up Shayna.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I'm thinking of. But Shayna really.
Elimination Chamber, because that's the only time she looked good in 2020.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I really was thinking about that. I mean, she pretty much dominated everybody in that match. So.
Right.
She choked out Asuka. I mean, even Asuka, and now Asuka's failing Bailey and Sasha at SummerSlam.
At the same
Let me get something off my chest real quick.
Oh, here we go. Here we
Let
go.
me get something off my chest real quick.
Let me get my
How
here.
dare Vince Kennedy McMahon put Asuka in 2 women's matches at SummerSlam and not have Shayna Baszler go after Bailey for the SmackDown Women's title? How dare he?
Jeff, we have another super chat. Don't forget about that.
I hadn't forgotten. I was waiting to see where Big G went, but I guess he's done because I'll take out everything.
Big G.
Big G, you're not alone in that. My good friend Megan, she is a huge Shayna Baszler fan, and we had a Zoom session. She ranted hard about that result.
Nice. Jeez.
It's like
it's so funny. People either love or they hate like what they do with the women's division. There's like no middle ground. It's crazy. So ZOMG Ruler with the $2 super chat says extra $2 for Curb Your Enthusiasm. Ref order Panda X. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Panda Express. He's saying order Panda Express.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I don't watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, so I was like, huh? Okay, yeah, I agree with. Panda's not a bad choice, and they're somewhat healthy, somewhat.
Hey Jeff, I'm gonna actually bounce here. I'll let you guys keep the conversation going. Maybe invite some more people in. Like, let's get some more no DQ people. Just be careful who you let in because there's those crazy people out there.
Oh yeah,
the Fiend takes over this freaking session.
We'll have to do more of these. Thanks for letting me on, Jeff. Good to see you, Big G. Good to see you, Noah. I hope you guys have a good rest of your convo. I'll be around in the chat room. Maybe I'll pop back in at the end. We'll see.
Take it easy, brother.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Keep watching. Even if I'm not part of this, keep watching. If you tune out, I'm going to be mad. All right.
That's right.
Take care, guys.
We will find you.
We will find you. You are being watched. You've been warned.
Awesome.
See if I can do. Actually, I don't want to do that. Wait. Let's see.
So while Jeff's doing that, what do you guys think of Strowman going bald?
Here we go. Here's a question for Big G with a $4 super chat from Dwayne Atkinson. Favorite Shayna match ever?
When she won the NXT title the second time against Kairi Sane at Evolution.
There you go. It's a good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Not a bad one at all.
Not a bad one at all. What about you, Noah? What's your favorite Shayna Baszler match?
She's had so many. I mean, that's a good one right there. But I would figure about the first time she actually won the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah, I would agree with that. She's she's been grossly underappreciated and underutilized because they've utilized her very well. I feel maybe on the main roster, but definitely in NXT.
Yeah,
She's still been grossly underappreciated, and I hope that this thing where she's hoping Asuka wins will lead to her getting the title finally. Because I honestly think that the reason her match with Becky was so basically kind of one-sided is because there was a possibility that they knew already about Becky's pregnancy, and they tried to make sure she didn't do too much, batshit stuff. So I think if they had if they'd known for sure that she was, then she would have dropped the title. I think Shayna would have won at Mania. I think she should have won at Mania anyway. Personally, I think that was where I felt it was going, and it didn't go. It was like, I like Becky, but this sucks. Killing me.
Out of the submission. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, there's. I mean, I get that they were trying to make Becky the unstoppable champion, but you can't have Shayna get that much of a build, and she cleared the chamber. She didn't just win the match. She cleared the damn chamber, and she still lost her title match. That's bullshit. Complete bullshit.
Yep.
Absolutely agree.
So Adrian is asking me what we should debate on when we have our debate, and he wants the chat room to throw out ideas. So throw out the ideas. If you want to super chat them, I'll read them on the air. Yeah. So there you go. By the way, thank you again. Like I've been kind of subtly kissing Jeff's butt here for the last couple of weeks about access to whatnot, but I'm gonna pull out just totally butt smooch right here, live in public. This guy has given me the opportunity to watch HBO Max, which again I haven't done much because I've been busy with this. I've been busy. You guys should see beyond this wall here, beyond this window, how of a disaster this looks in here because we're trying to move. So I watched the pilot of Friends and the first half of Ducks 2. That's it. So I'm trying my hardest, but no biggie. There is a Harry Potter binge in November that I'm planning because I always watch the Harry Potter movies around Thanksgiving because that's when they first came out. So now that I can watch them all in HD, it actually on the screen that doesn't on the disc. I can watch them. So it's a beautiful thing. And then I've got the two new Fantastic, which I've never seen, Fantastic Beasts. So I'm looking forward to it. So yeah. So anyway, let's see what we got here. What are the
So you're a Harry Potter fan, Jeff. What house would you be if you had a choice?
I actually went through the Pottermore what do you call it? House sorting. I am a Hufflepuff. I have a Hufflepuff keychain on my keys, and I was actually planning before I got back into balls deep into the podcast, and I was going to set up my new room as a Hufflepuff house common room style area, and like this is going to be a very yellow room, like
black.
Jesus. Like it's gonna be yellow and black, and I'm gonna be NXT'd out, which is not a bad thing. But so I decided to hold off. Plus, our colors are. I mean, if you look here, red and black. So it'd be kind of a weird thing. But okay, so I'm being told that Harry Potter will leave HBO Max next month, so hurry up. Okay, so we're doing the games in August. There you go. I
did not know that.
Expedite that. You're gonna have to expedite that.
Right. Okay.
I did not know that. That's a good thing.
So Curtis' suggestion for what do you call it? The debate is Vader, wrestlers who lost their physique, and Ultimate Warrior's ego. I don't know if those are really debatable as far as Warrior because honestly, people can appreciate the Warrior for the personality that he was on WWF television, but pretty much universally across the board seen as a dick who happened to get redeemed the last week of his life. And I don't know if I don't know if that'd be an interesting debate because we'd pretty much be shitting on him the whole time. So like I don't know if that'd be good. Vader's a good one because a lot of people like Vader, a lot of people don't. So I'm fine with that. And as far as wrestlers lost their physiques, I don't talk about physiques. I don't do that on my show. I don't.
I'm scared at both, so who am I to say anything?
Okay. There we go. Here's a good one. I like this one. Was Bret Hart better as a face or a heel?
There you go.
There's a good debate
Ooh,
one.
that's
I
a good
like
one.
that
There you go.
one.
That's a good one.
I am making that in the notes right now, and we'll just add that to the list, because that's definitely definitely on the topic on the docket. That's a good one. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. And Ken says heel. I hit the wrong button. There we go. I need this. This friggin' thing moves so fast, like shit.
You got a lot of people watching.
Which WWE Championship title design is the best? I love that one. I will own that one. Like, I will be on that all day. So please, by all means, I will definitely do that. Brendan Crabtree says, if you get a chance, watch Perry Mason. I actually was into the old school Perry Mason. That's how old I am. I was into the old, Raymond Burr Perry Mason. So I'll have to give it a shot. I'm down for that. Let's see. Ciampa heel or face. That's another good suggestion for it. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see here. Michael, for the debate, would we not have to have opposite views? Exactly. It's like the Warrior again. I if somebody wants to come on and debate the positive virtues, the Ultimate Warrior's ultimate destiny in the business, please let me know.
I don't think Virtue would even do that.
Yeah, I mean, no. Virtue would do it, just to be Virtue, but I don't think he'd be serious. Like, I don't think he would be like, oh, well, he was great for that. He was not good for anything. He was never, he never contributed worthwhile in any way. He was the shiny new toy with the bright colors that Vince thought could, succeed Hogan, and they went, whoopsie, sorry. Within a year, it went to Slaughter and then right back to Hogan again. So, and again, another shiny new toy with the Undertaker, and they botched that. By giving the belt back to Hogan. So again, everything happens for a reason, and that's, I mean, because of that, Flair became the champion. So I guess that was a good thing of that, but it's kind of all over the place. Jordan says wrestling factions best to worst. That's not a debate. That's more of a top 10, like a Dad's on Wrestling type topic. So, that would be something for Jay and I could do. I'm all about that, which is fine. Let's see here. Old school Mission Impossible movies or movies Mission Impossible. Ooh, I like that one. That's totally not wrestling, and I like that because I would totally be all about the TV show because I'm not a Tom Cruise guy. So
I'm not I
don't think I watched. Yeah, I've seen one.
By also, let me be full disclosure. The first one he did was good. Yeah. And after that, they've been progressed through. Like, okay, can we? Thanks.
Pretty much.
They just rerun the same idea with more pyro.
There you go. The Peanut Butter Falcon was a good movie. The wrestling part of it was awesome. It's on Hulu. There you go. I will definitely check that out, Colin. Thank you. Debate your top feuds that never happened or match never happened. Again, that's really not
more of a top 10.
That's more of a top 10.
Top 10 or a discussion. So
fantasy booking.
Yeah, I love fantasy booking. I'm all about that. But again, that's more of a top 10 discussion. Topic for debate right now, Curtis says. Did the Monday Night Wars hot-shotting shows cause the slow descent of the ratings of wrestling in the past 20 years? Ooh. Okay. Let's sit there for a minute. When you think about it, I mean, again, I don't know if I said this on my show last week or a show I did later in the week. The reason the Monday Night Wars ended was because of WCW's going out of business. And the reason WCW went out of business, I will die on this hill. I will. Eric Bischoff walked into a meeting at CNN Tower or whatever they call it, Turner's corporate offices, into a meeting there at WCW, and he walked into a conference room of 15 people that he had never seen before, and those 15 people in suits said, "Here's how you're going to run your company." Now, keep in mind, the previous 5 years, Eric Bischoff had done what Eric Bischoff wanted to do. Yeah, look where they went. The minute that those people said, "Here's how you're going to do this," it was a slow crash and burn, but it did. So that's really what it came down to. Now, this is in August of 98. So Goldberg winning the title from Hogan had already happened.
Yeah.
The WWF kind of shooting their wad, if you will, by upping the ante on the sex and the violence and the profanity had already happened.
Yes.
So did the hot shotting cause a slow descent? No, I don't think so, because the hot shotting was WCW's attempt to put a Band-Aid over a gunshot wound at that point. It just was what it was. Am I wrong there? Or?
I don't think so. It's like you said, it's kind of like, trying to keep it alive, basically, as it was just constantly bleeding out.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do with a wound the size of a bullet hole. Like, you can't, a Band-Aid or a stopgap's only going to do so much. But when you've got people that have never watched wrestling try to tell you how to run a wrestling business, it's not going to succeed. That's why Bischoff got the power in the first place, because he was not, Bill Watts walking in there saying, well, this is how we used to do it back in the 70s in the Mid-South. And I'm gonna piss off the apron of the CNN Tower because I can. I'm the boss, and it's like, no, Bill, stop.
Gotta stroke the ego.
And before that, they had a bunch of dipshits that the people at Turner thought, well, this is my buddy, and he watches wrestling, so he must know. So we'll put him in charge. It's like, no, it's not that. Wrestling is the most unique business there is. You can't have just some random guy in a corporate suit with a company logo saying, I work for this company, I'm going to run wrestling. You can't do that. It has to be in here and in here and in here. It has to be. So if you're approaching wrestling with a corporate business approach and your last name is not McMahon, you don't know what the hell you're doing. I will stand by that forever. So it's I guess let me clarify. If you're trying to run a multinational or a global wrestling company and you don't have intimate knowledge of wrestling, you're not going to get past the starting gate.
Yeah.
So that's just how I feel about that. Adrian says, as much as me and Jeff have a frosty relationship, I kind of agree on a lot of points he makes. Honestly, I don't have a frosty thing with Adrian. I just don't like some of what I perceive, me, as troll comments. He sees it differently. But so there you go. Another debate suggestion: would Cena have been successful, if not more, than Hogan in his spot in the 80s and vice versa? We've talked about this quite a bit on a lot of my shows, and Hogan was the right guy in the right place at the right time. He was fresh off Rocky III. Vern saw that Vince Sr. had cast him aside and went, "Oh, there's money there." And Hulk will tell you this himself. Vern Gagne is the one that really kind of molded Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan into the Hulkamania that we all know now.
Yeah. And
then Vince went, "Okay, here's what I've got in mind." And like him or hate him for, abandoning Vern, Hulk saw the money, and, Kevin Nash said it best on on the NWO panel on the Let's Wrestling, Hulk was smart enough to see that money train and go, I could still catch it. So, it's, Hogan's always been that way. So that's just who Hogan is. Scott Hunt with $1 $1. Is that a euro or a pound? I think it's a euro. Thank you.
Euro.
Appreciate that, Scott. Appreciate the $1. I will. I'll definitely use that to tip the guy at the restaurant tonight. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Every dollar counts.
Every dollar. That's right. Every dollar matters. I feel like I'm on the Jerry Lewis telephone again. Yeah, it's funny. His passing came up in my memories recently on Facebook, and I was like, damn, I forgot even. I grew up watching the Jerry Lewis telephone. Like, I would make it a point, either my allowance and then later my paycheck every year, I'd give to my mom, or I'd call in myself and donate whatever I could, because it meant something. So there you go.
Yeah. Kind of the point, but that's the point of giving right there. Yeah, I can imagine Cena in the Hogan spot. That's that. According to that comment, I can't. Nah.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan was who he needed to be. It needed to be Hogan, like and by comparison, Hulk Hogan being the guy to walk out in 2002 against Kurt Angle on SmackDown, big lumbering, kind of blonde guy, it doesn't work. Like they're. I honestly feel like people want me to say they're interchangeable. They're not at all. They are absolutely not at all, and it's completely 100% falsehood to claim that. Now, Curtis makes a very good point about WCW. Jamie Kellner killed WCW. Yes, that I agree with 100%. For those of you that don't know who Jamie Kellner is, I will give a brief thing. Jamie Kellner was put in charge of Turner Broadcasting at the end of in the early part of 2001.
Okay.
He was in charge of everything that was on TBS and everything that was on TNT. He was chairman of Turner Broadcasting in 2001, and then he kind of went over the books and realized that there was a money bleeder on the books, and said that I don't have a use for it. And honestly, he felt that TBS was going to be the comedy network, TNT was going to be the drama network. There was no place for wrestling on Turner Television. And that's what I tried to say earlier. You're trying to put somebody in charge of something that they don't know anything about. Turner Broadcasting, people are going to crap on Ted Turner until he's in the ground or in an urn or wherever they end up doing it. And he goes, honestly, they're going to crap on him after that. They really are. People either love or hate Ted. But Ted was an entrepreneur at his core. And, once he was taken out of control when the merger took place with Gerald Levin and Time Warner. He was hesitant to do it, but he saw that his company needed it. So he felt it was the right thing to do. But once that merger went into place, it was the beginning of the end, because you had that, and then you had the AOL merger go through, and then Jamie Kellner was put in charge. So, like I said, the moment the merger went through with Time Warner and that room full of suits told Eric, here's what you're going to do, it was OVER.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over. That's it. And Dwayne Atkinson says, if Eric Bischoff had bought WCW, would it still exist today? That is a very good question. And I have talked about that for the longest time. I don't know what would have happened if Eric had actually been able to buy the company, because think about it. The plan was, and I'll ask Big G first. I've kind of drowned him out a lot here in this little.
That's fine.
Sorry about that. Here's what it is. The thought was to have the season finale on Nitro, and then reboot at the early part of May, the Big Bang, if you will. Okay. And so we would have had a whole new WCW. So would that WCW have carried on through the end of 01 and beyond, or would we still be sitting here having a one horse race discussion here in 2020?
If Bischoff had bought WCW and did a whole reboot, look at it. WCW ended in 2001, and TNA started in 2002, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, but WCW TNA beginning is a direct result of Jeff Jarrett losing his job with World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah. So going back, if Bischoff had bought WCW, there probably wouldn't have been no TNA, because Jeff Jarrett probably still would have been working for whatever the company would have been called. Could have still been called WCW Nitro for all we know. And it was doing great against WWF at the time, with the ratings and stuff like that. So I think it still be around today,
Right.
you know,
Right.
because Bischoff has a great wrestling mind. What's the word? I mean, backstage he knows what he's doing. He's a great on-screen character.
Mhm.
I think it would have lasted up until now. I mean, see, because then you probably wouldn't have AEW as well right now. So,
Right.
but you might have.
It's one of those things where I talk about this a lot, especially with Greg when I'm on Rewind or I'm on a panel with him or whatever, pulling that one thread. What if this didn't happen? You know.
So let me ask you. We're talking about WCW.
Right.
What could they have done differently in ECW to make it last longer than it did? Is that the same situation as WCW, or because
no, because ECW's corporation was Paul's parents. I mean, HHG was Paul's parents, so that's that's different. I think if Paul had been in charge of creative, and I think if he'd had somebody much like a Jim Crockett, if we want to go that deep into the weeds, if they'd have let the Crockettts be in charge of creative and somebody else be in charge of the books, everything's gravy. If Paul would have said, I'm the creative guy, I write the stories, I write the TV, I do this, but you guys handle the business side of things, we're good. And I think if WCW had been able to get out from underneath the corporate gaga of AOL Time Warner and only been a television property like AEW is now, if we're going to be real, AEW is on TNT, but Time Warner doesn't own AEW.
Correct.
Gotcha.
The Times own AEW. Tony's father owns it. Tony runs it, along with Cody and the Bucks and Kenny and whoever. If Eric had been able to get the corporate overlords off of WCW as far as them running the company, I think they would have had a legitimate chance. Noah, what do you think?
I absolutely agree when I think about the short stint of WCW that I knew before actually learning about a lot of it more on the network. I see a lot of similarities between AEW and WCW. They're bringing a lot of names back and a lot of past plans back from WCW through AEW as well. I mean, Eric Bischoff on TNT in the last 20 years, that was something special to me. And honestly, I hope that's not one-off. If I think about Eric Bischoff and if he actually did have full control and ownership of WCW, it almost makes me think you would have had a war with WCW and TNA that would have took away even more attention from the WWE. Because once WWE went past 2001, it kind of fell off to the wayside a little bit.
Well, but again, I said earlier that, TNA would not have existed if Jeff Jarrett had been allowed to keep his job with WCW. So I don't know if Jarrett would have been around in 2001, 2002. I don't know where Jeff's head was. I've met Jeff once, and it was a pleasant experience. Don't get me wrong. Again, on Jeff, but I love Jeff Jarrett. He was better to me at Turning Point, better to Mike Aaron and I than Mike Tenay was. And Mike Tenay was a guest on our show. So, there's that. Mike, when we showed up to the after party, Mike was a few drinks deep when we got there. So Tenay was not mean, just very dismissive. And it was completely not the Mike Tenay we had on the show. I was like, okay. But Jarrett, like, nobody was in that restaurant except the TNA personnel and us three. Like, they cleared that place out. And I forget who it was, but one of them said, no, they're in. And Jarrett kind of looked, and then he kind of gave another look of like, I know who you are, because he had done the show too at one point, and he shook our hands, was very gracious, very nice. The only guys that really kind of like big leagued us, if you will, were, of course, Scott and Kevin. And that's just but that's just who Scott and Kevin were back then. Like, I don't begrudge them that because they were the big stars. I don't whatever. But everybody else was super nice. If you've ever seen that clip, and I'll have to put it up in edited form drastically, good grief. But there's a clip outside after dinner, after everything, where we award Petey Williams and Elix Skipper and Val and I think AJ and Saban, also different awards from NerdToHue.com. And most of us are drunk. It's so like just let me put it this way. Elix Skipper accepts his award for him and Chris Daniels for Tag Team of the Year. But Petey Williams is behind him with his arms through like this through his arm, and Petey is doing Elix's voice. And Elix is chiming in going, yeah, like throughout the whole. It's so bad, but it's so funny. So I'll also try to see edit that clip down and get it up because it's fantastic. Anyway,
sounds like a
back. Here we go. Back into the weeds. Back into the topic at hand. If Eric had bought WCW, would it exist today? I don't know. Would it have gone further? No question about it.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it would have gone a lot farther than that nonsense invasion went. So because that I liked the invasion thing at its core, but it just was bad. There was so much bad with that whole thing.
That's because nobody knew who the hell these WCW guys was in WWE.
Yeah, exactly. The two name talents they had as far as the big WCW stars, they made one a wannabe of The Rock, and they made the other stock a woman who, with all due respect, was not as attractive as the stalker's wife.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not disparaging Undertaker's ex-wife because I'm not getting that ass kicked. But just saying. And again, they kind of warped it where it was why I was stalking him to be famous. I'm like, Dallas, you were the WCW People's Champion. Like, a lot of people loved you. You don't need to be famous, but it turned out bad. So, but those are their big stars. That's why they brought ECW in, and their biggest star was a babyface. Like, people, they wanted people to hate the Alliance, but it's like, everybody loves Rob. How are you going to hate RVD? Like, you have to be completely at a bad place in your head to have any hate on Rob Van Dam. He is the most chill, the most laid-back guy in the history of the planet. If you got hate for RVD, you need to go see a therapist. I'm just throwing it out there. You do.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I got to head out, fellas. I got to get my laundry done and eat some dinner. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you, G. Appreciate you coming in, brother.
Peace.
See you later for predictions, maybe.
There you go. That's it. I'm just trying to see who else can come in. Staff Boy said no because he's busy, which is fine. I'm trying to see who else is in my chat room. That let's see. Let's see. David's online. Let's see if we can bring him in.
For the Cleaver Con Andrew, I know he's been in here, but he might be busy.
I will. Yeah, because it's almost 7 back there, so he might be in the throes of dinner.
6:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. Yep. So. But yeah, I look at AEW, and I gotta admit, this is some of the most fun I've seen in a wrestling product in a long time.
Oh yeah, it's AEW. Like you said, there's a lot of comparisons to early WCW where they're getting, they have a lot of homegrown talent, but they're bringing in the big names, they're bringing in the big guns, they're shilling out the money for these people, and it's a lively, thriving, vibrant product. And I look forward to Wednesdays. I look forward to having this TV on USA and this TV on TNT and just seeing what the hell they're going to do.
There you go. It's funny when I listened to that special with Tony Khan and Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson, that 83-week special, and Eric Bischoff,
so good.
I loved it. Eric Bischoff talked about how he looks at Raw and SmackDown. He just sees one red and one blue show that are both the same thing, but he sees something completely different and more organic in AEW. But it's funny to me that he had no mention in comparison with NXT. Now, I don't know about you, but I still feel like NXT gravitates more to me than Raw or SmackDown. It feels still a little bit different. I mean, the underground, darker aspect of it kind of works for me for the NXT product, not so much for the Raw and SmackDown product. But what's your thoughts on that? Well,
they're keeping NXT more underground looking, also because the fact that they're at the PC.
Yeah,
they are seeming like they're still using the what do you call it, the PC as their underground headquarters. So it seems more gritty than AEW. AEW's in a big stadium, and there's people out there, and it's just it's more of a, even in the COVID era, it's still more of a presentation. So I get exactly where you're coming from, which is why I think they're trying to get Raw Underground to be to have that feel because it's gritty and it's dark and it's different. Wrestling fan, you can join. If you have a way to message me on Messenger, please do. So,
yeah, 1998, pretty good year.
I mean, come on. So there you go.
So
Aaron made a point to put it. I don't want to put it over because I don't want freaking 25 people coming in here. It'll be
I'm
crazy.
about to say, be careful, Jeff.
I won't. So okay, here we go. You think Hogan in 2002 was as good as late 80s Hogan? I'm sorry. It looks like they're having a freaking discussion in the chat room that I've been missing apparently.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I think that he was still as popular. I don't know that if he, remember, even in 2002, Hogan's body was starting to, not be
decay.
There you go. Decay is a good word. So he couldn't do the things that even Hogan in Japan 93 could do. But as far as popularity, as far as money, as far as box office, there is no comparison to any Hulk Hogan era than 1984 to 1988. Period. There's just not. So, wrestling fan, I do have the link, but Aaron brought a very good point. We're also on the No DQ stream, and I don't want to put it out there and have people come in that would be unsavory characters, shall we say?
Yeah.
So,
that's a good way. Rated R.
Yeah. So we don't want to go have No DQ's stream go too far into the darkness and have Aaron get in trouble with YouTube. So I don't care, whatever. But the thing is, Aaron's room draws money, so I don't want to cause him a money loss by having somebody come in that I don't get to vet right away. So if I can find a way to message you, that'd be real neato. I can't do that. Oh, you have to be in the room. That's why. Balls. Oh well, that's it. Anyway, so yeah. Again, AEW's presentation is fresh. They have enough of the talent we know. They have Jericho. They've got Moxley. They've got the indie darlings we love. They've got the Bucks. They've got Omega. They've got Scorpio Sky and Frankie and Daniels. Daniels and Frankie both have TNA experience. They've got all these guys who we know, and yet there's people we've never seen before that go, this is interesting. I can kind of get on board with this.
Yeah, and they're focusing a lot on managers, I've noticed too, with all these different pairings up. You got Vicky Guerrero, good Lord, now her freaking excuse me's back. Anyway, Vicky Guerrero, Nyla Rose. You got Tully Blanchard and Sean Spears, Arn Anderson and Cody, Jake the Snake, Jake Roberts, and Lance Archer. And all these dynamics, each one seems different, and they're all really working.
And what I like is you're starting to see the possibility of both Arn and Tully getting in FTR's ears.
Yeah, now I don't know which one.
What's going to happen? Yeah, exactly. Because either way, Cody being paired up with FTR under Arn is an amazing situation, and FTR being paired with Sean Spears under Tully is an amazing scenario you can think of. So it'd be so good. Okay, so Ken is asking JM about Hogan's AWA run since I'm a Hogan mark. I'm not too familiar with the AWA run. I do know that when he first came off of doing Rocky 3 and Vincent J. McMahon had told him, you're not coming back here if you do this movie, he went to Minnesota and he ran with AWA for a period of about a year and a half, maybe even close to 2 years. Actually over 2 years. Yeah. And he was going to be champion a couple different times. And the story that Hulk tells is he had to basically sell his soul because Vern was going to marry him off to one of his daughters as the champion, which if you know the story of Vern Gagne's family, Vern's son-in-law is Larry Zbyszko. Oh. And Larry was the last AWA champion. So there you go. Hogan was going to be that guy. He was going to be the one married to the daughter, and Hogan refused to do that. And the other bone of contention between the two of them was Vern was insisting that any shirt with Hogan or Hulkamania or whatever on display on the shirt that Hulk sold in Japan would go into Vern's pocket, not Terry's. And Hulk said, no, if you want to go to Japan and wrestle in front of these assholes, go for it. I'm not doing, whatever. So when Vincent K. McMahon said, I've got an idea, I want you to be my guy, Hogan jumped on it. And that's how we got to the end of '83 when he saved Bob Backlund from Fonseca, and off he went.
That was before my time, so I'm learning here. So,
you know what? It was honestly the year I was born was his last year in the AWA. I think Super Sunday against Bockwinkel was like the month after I was born. So I've never seen any of this in its entirety. I've read Terry's book, and I've talked to Hulk and Jimmy Hart and a few people about this. So I kind of just know the stories. So it's again one of those pull the thread things. If Hogan does the AWA, are we even here at this moment? Do we miss? So that's because without Hulk being the guy to have Vince take the WWF National, do they go national or do they just stay between DC and Maine? So,
well, world may never know, but I would think about that sort of power that Hulk did drive in the 80s. I would think no, because you had no one bigger.
Well, again, if not for Hulk, everybody's still territorial. You've still got the Crockett's in the southeast. You've got Watts in the mid south. You've got Vern in the AWA. You've got the Garibaldis and everybody out here. You've got Don Owen in Portland. There's so many territories that don't go away if Vince doesn't expand. So, again, there you go.
Yeah, fair enough. So we got a lot going on this week, but I find it interesting that W's trying to get away finally from PG-13 and bringing in the virtual fan idea from actual sports. What's your thoughts on all that?
I mentioned this earlier. I'm kind of like whatever about the virtual fans thing. I'm not. I guess it's selfish. I don't know. If I can't be there, I don't think it should be. I don't really care. I watch these hockey games. I'm like, I'm not at the games, but it doesn't bother me that there's no crowd. If it bothers the players, then yeah, I would say, put the virtual fans in. I personally don't think the players and the athletes give a shit. Now, wrestling wise, I think it is a huge thing because wrestling feeds off the crowd. Mm-hmm. However, if you're going to have a crowd for the wrestlers to feed off of, it can't be artificial because that means the WWE management or AEW or whoever is generating that noise from a box in their studio doing this shit. It's not real emotion. It's not Hogan Rock doing the turn side to side and the people eating it up. Yes. It's not that, okay, we have a thing here where the fans are not buying this. Let's do something else. It's not the same thing. So I think it's kind of stupid, personally.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, just it sounds like that Reface app that broke Aaron, basically, where it sounds like your face is just going to be on a virtual head and maybe your noise could be heard. But then again, what about all your background audible? I'm just super perplexed how they're going to pull this off. So
there are so many intangibles to a live crowd that I don't think can be replicated in a studio setting as far as professional wrestling. You can have canned laughter on a sitcom all you want. You can have canned shocks on a drama all you want. You can't can wrestling crowds and make it seem legitimate. That's my stance. So.
Well, they kind of tried to do that though at the greatest match ever with Randy Orton and Edge. What were your thoughts on those aesthetics?
It looked like shit. It looked like it was terrible. It was so bad. The match editing itself was bad. It seems like to me that Kevin Dunn has lost his touch. I know people pick on Kevin Dunn. I'm not going to go on that soapbox of everybody hates Kevin Dunn because of this. Kevin Dunn has screwed up twice this year when it comes to Edge. They missed his first spear in 9 years, which is like, why? And then the match with Orton was not properly edited, properly shot. It was just bad. So I I honestly think they're just trying too hard to make us want to watch. What I saw this last week on Raw, on SmackDown, on NXT, on AEW, I want to watch this week again. I can't wait to see what happens this week. I can't wait to see what they do to make us go, do we really want to spend 8 hours in our chairs on Saturday and Sunday at watching the network? Or do we want to just say F it for this month? That's what I'm curious about at the end of Friday night. When 10 o'clock hits on Friday night on Fox, I want to go, okay, am I going to sit in this chair Saturday night and watch NXT all that time? Am I going to sit here and watch SummerSlam all day Sunday? I want to know that answer at the end of Friday night.
Keep in mind, Saturday, you also have an AEW Dynamite, which might actually coincide with TakeOver if it starts at 7.
Balls. I forgot about that.
Yeah, AEW Dynamite's on this Saturday, 6 p.m. or following the NBA playoffs, should they go a little longer. And with it, of course, being 2 hours and knowing TakeOver started at 7, we might have a Dynamite versus a TakeOver.
Which is fine, and I only say that because, again, I've got access where I can have monitor 2 on my computer on TNT, and I can have my TV on the network. So I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with it. I do have a problem with the thing is, I tried very hard to do the All Out versus Evolve thing last year, and my brain short circuited. So I don't know if I can do that again, but I'll certainly try. Thing is, though, Dynamite, I can watch the matches and not worry about, I love JR and I love Tony and I tolerate Excalibur and I like Taz sometimes. But I don't have to have their commentary. Like NXT, I need my Morrow. I need my Beth Phoenix. I need those people, and I really want to hear the call. Whoever wins, Adam Cole or Pat McAfee, I really want to hear the audio on that commentary. So I'm gonna have that on my commentary stream. All right, back to the chat room. The Cena 76, Cena sucks 76. Jesus Christ. Says non-wrestling question: do the Kings take Byfield or Stutz, or do you think there's a slim chance the Rangers take Byfield and we take? You know what? I cannot wait to see what happens. I'm fine with any scenario. I think us Kings fans, and Noah's going, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's all you. You have your world.
Yeah, Noah's gone.
I'm just here.
I think the Kings fans are putting way too much stock in our team being saved by one person. We need to just settle our TKOs, Danny would say, and just let the Stanley Cup playoffs finish first. Then we'll see what happens when the draft is over and we get our roster and we get into the business again. It's just, we must be patient. So, okay. Let's see here. There's a lot of comments I missed, and I'm sorry about that.
That's what happens when we go off in the weeds talking about wrestling and hockey.
Yeah, God, yeah, seriously. All right. Jesus Christ. Steamboat is a poor man's Brett. Wow. Okay, here you go.
Ouch.
There you go. Here's the debate. WCW Steamboat or WCW Steamboat was way better than WWF Steamboat. Okay, now I know where he's going with that, and that's I will gladly jump on that. But I will save that for the debate with Adrian, because I think that I think Adrian's poor man's Brett comment just deserves to be ripped apart. And I will. Yeah, there's no way the Rangers are passing LaFerriere. I don't think they're going to pass on him. I think we're going to get Stutz or Byfield, which is fine. I have no problem with that. All right. Will Amway Center be old school every week on SmackDown and Raw and NXT? Again, I don't know what they're going to do with this story, with this setup, because I loved the idea that Stefan put out there, that a lot of people put out there, that they should have that pool area at the hotel at the Amway Center be the ring area, and have a pool, Nitro style Club de Vila, right in the middle of it, entry ramp, and have the hotel room balconies be the crowd. That way, everybody's 6 feet apart except the people you're with. you've got everybody's distance, you got everybody's, and there's bathrooms in the room. So there's no cross bathroom contamination. I think that is a brilliant friggin' idea.
I love that. I would personally love to see that. Just from a presentation standpoint, that should be enough to make people want to go into the network to see something different.
Seriously, I just want to see, again, people have been bitching about that the COVID era is what it is, and it is, but something different would be nice. And the Amway Center is different. So Greg Cherry Mark says, could we see Strowman retain at SummerSlam? He just got a new look. Again, we will talk about SummerSlam this coming week on NoDQ.com across all of our platforms. We've got predictions lined up. We've got everything under the sun coming up. I'm going to go ahead and throw it up there right now because that's all week. There we go. There it is. There'll be a prediction show Tuesday. There'll be a pre-show with Greg Cherry, I believe, at 3 Eastern on Sunday, and a full recap. Also, if you're into that sort of thing, on my network, if you're watching on Aaron's channel only, God bless you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the super chats, man. I'm getting paid today.
Money.
But Saturday will be a live watch along of TakeOver. I will be right here with a big shoe, as Alvin would have said back in the day, watching TakeOver with live reactions, as I will be SummerSlam. So you'll have me all day Saturday, all day Sunday, because I just love you guys that much. Yes, Adrian, even you. Although you can't watch on my channel because I blocked you because I'm a meanie. Maybe I'll block you for the chat. Maybe we'll see. No. And then so that's what's coming up. You've got my stuff on Wednesday is Rewind. We're going to be doing we're watching SummerSlam 95 through the viewer's choice. I don't know if you knew about that, Noah, but the fans of the Jeff Feature Network actually voted for us to watch SummerSlam 95 because they hate me. But Greg was at this show, and it's a cool show. If you like the 95 ladder match between Shawn and Razor, it'll be worth getting into. It is kind of a train wreck of a show, I'll be honest with you, but it's fun. I enjoy it. And then, again, next Friday, of course, is this Friday is the NoDQ.com Wrestling Trivia Challenge, which will take place at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on Greg's channel, the Greg Cherry brand. And then you can come back to the Jeff Meacham Network and see the post-game recap. So that's what is coming up this week. And let me just see if I miss anything that I want to read off, or if I can just let Noah do the plugs, and we will. Here we go. Noah, anything you want to plug? What is the status, as you know, of the NX team and their predictions and their videos? What do you know as we sit here?
As we sit here right now, I currently am aware that me, the Cleaver Con Andrew, and current NoDQ Competition champion, General Jerry Slaughter, we will be doing predictions for the entire SummerSlam weekend, TakeOver Report / SummerSlam, some point this week, Friday night. Time to be determined. Others might join as well from the NX team. That's all I know about that up to this point.
Very good. Adrian with a two-year super chat to end the night. Debate on overrated, underrated wrestlers. That's fine. We can throw that in there, Adrian. We can definitely throw that in our debate. I'd love to, because there's plenty of people I think don't get near enough credit that people disagree with me 100%. So we will definitely get to that. So thank you guys for the last hour and 40 minutes. My goodness, holy crap, we've been on for a while. Again, you can check us out over on NoDQ.com this week for all your latest news, opinions, features, and everything. Columns as well. Don't forget the columns. The column wars are underway, brother. Can't forget that. And of course, you can catch us right here on the Jeff Meacham Network each and every day, except Thursday, at least as of now. We'll see how things play out. But it's SummerSlam week, baby. We're into the final stretch. Tomorrow night is Raw. Again, tomorrow will be Talk Wrestling. Ask Me Anything. That'll be exclusively on the Jeff Meacham Network side of things, although I may simulcast here because I can now. We shall see. Anyway, Noah, thank you for coming on. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you to Big Baller G. Thank you to the boss man here in